Hello everybody, my name is Josh. This is a tomato plant and we're in my backyard. In this video I'm going to show you guys how I plant a tomato into the ground. Now it's a little bit early to be doing this here in Thunder Bay, but because I have this greenhouse set up I'm able to get a jump on things quite a bit earlier. So to start out, you need a shovel. You've got a shovel here, a nice spade shovel, and then you need some ground, you need dirt, you need somewhere to plant the tomato. So I've got this area inside my greenhouse, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some of the dirt that's here and make a hole. And I'm just going to throw some of that dirt into the bucket to put it off to the side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig this hole out, and then I'm going to add some stuff into it, and I'll go over that in a minute. You don't need to make an enormous hole, but the bigger the hole, the larger the root system will grow more freely. Like, this is solid dirt around here, so I want to loosen as much of it up as I can, because the roots can grow more freely in the loose soil rather than the hard packed stuff. So now that I got a nice big hole with plenty of room for the roots to grow in, I'm going to loosen it up a little bit. And then I'm going to take some of this, and this here is composted cattle manure. Opie, let go. You're in front of the camera, darling. This is Opie. I'm sure many of y'all know her. She's a sweetheart. Hey, come here. Come on. Okay, lay down. Down. Opie, down. Oh, you just want loving, eh? I know. She's my darling. Okay, guys. So, I bought this bag. This is cattle manure, composted cattle manure, and I paid $5 for it, and I think I paid too much for a bag of poop, but I'll leave that up to you. So I'm going to put some of it into there, like a third of the bag. And this is really good, rich stuff. Okay, I lied, more than a third of a bag. I put like half a bag in there. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab a chunk and come and show you guys. So this is composted cattle manure. So that's like a couple years old. And it's nice and rich and full of microbes and all sorts of good things. Like really good stuff. So you want to mix it up. Now that I've got that half a bag or so in there, I want to mix it up good with the dirt that's already in the ground. And you want to mix that up as well as you can, really. Now keep in mind, planting a tomato in a garden is a totally different situation than just planting a tomato in a hole in your backyard, right? This isn't like a garden that's been worked or anything. This was grass 5 days ago. I ripped the grass up. I plunked this greenhouse on here. It's just temporary. And I'm digging holes in the dirt. So this is just virgin soil that hasn't been grown in it, hasn't been worked or nothing for like 40 years. My great-grandfather used to farm right here. He had a lot that he used to grow vegetables. So it was at one point farmland, but not for over 30 or 40 years. Probably even more. I don't know exactly. So I want to amend the soil with good nutrients and good stuff that's really going to help it grow well. So I've got this bag here of cattle manure. And then I have some of this too. And this is a tri-mix it's called. And it's got 3-in-1. And I believe it's like, I don't know, peat mix, compost, and topsoil, I'm guessing. I don't know for sure, but I believe that's what it is. I suppose I could read. What do we got? Less watering, stronger plants, more abundant flowering, better growth with enriched compost. I don't even see what it says. It doesn't say what's in it, but it's a 3-in-1, so that's what we got. And I'm gonna put some of this in there too. About half a bag. And then I'll save the other half for another hole. Now you don't need to do this either. Like really, if your soil is pretty rich, you can just dig a hole and loosen it up and plant your tomato in there. But by doing this, what I'm doing, I'm ensuring that this tomato is going to have tons of nutrients all summer long, and it's going to be able to grow a very big, vigorous, healthy root system and produce tons of fruit for me. I'm planting it in here. It's April 26th. So we're going to have cold, and it's probably going to look like winter a few more times outside. But by planting this into the ground here, I've now dedicated myself to having to keep it warm right here for this plant. Because if it gets too cold at night, it'll kill it. So what that'll probably entail me doing is building a little plastic area around it and maybe putting a heater in there. Definitely putting buckets of hot water in there at night, and those keep warm for hours, and then that can actually keep it warm enough in there all night if it's not too cold. Because last night, so I just put this greenhouse up yesterday, and last night it got down to 0 degrees, and there wasn't frost this morning, but it was 0 degrees, and in here it was 7 degrees Celsius at 8 a.m. So that's quite a bit warmer than outdoors, but still a little bit chilly for tomatoes. And it's going to get colder than that again before summer. So that said, another layer in here with a heat source inside will keep them really warm. But just waiting a month totally eliminates all this nonsense. So if you want to do it, you start your seeds right now, get them growing. There's still plenty of time to get your seeds started today if you want it, or tomorrow, or in the next few days, get your tomatoes growing. And then plant them at the beginning of June. Plant them in the ground at the beginning of June, and you've got lots of time to grow them out. So I'm going to throw just a little bit more into here. And the reason being is because I want this tomato plant to get enormous. This is kind of an experiment for me to see how it'll grow. Getting this head start this early. So this plant here, it's already it's 2 months old in 5 days. So it's got some good size, good time to it already. I'm going to plant it in the ground nice and deep, so that way all of this will root out. And I'm going to hope for the best. And I truly think that it'll have lots of time to just get absolutely abundant. And this one, I'm going to do continuous updates throughout the summer on this plant and a few others that I grow with other methods. And I really want to see what responds to what the best, right? Like, this is new growing territory for me. I've never grown here before. I grew some stuff at my old house, and I've grown at my mom's mom and dad's house. I've helped them garden for years. So this is the first time doing it here, and I'm excited to do some experiments and see what happens. And getting this mixed up as good as possible is what you definitely want to do. Pulling out any rocks. There's a rock right there that I want to get out. Looks like actually a little chunk of concrete, which definitely isn't something I'm interested in. So get it out of there. Alright, that's nice and mixed up now. So what I'm going to do is dig my hole as deep as I want to plant the tomato. And like I mentioned, I want to put it pretty deep. So we'll have a check and see. And I like that. I think that's exactly where I want it. So what I'm going to do is tip the pot this way, give it a little squeeze, and it comes right out nicely. Now you can see there's nice healthy roots growing all around here. I just potted this up into this pot like 2 weeks ago. And before that it was just in a little plug before. So it's doing really well. Super happy. And we'll see how they do in here. Like I said, this is still way too early. But being in a greenhouse, I'm excited to see what happens. So now that I'm got it planted in the ground there, what I'm doing, any big clumps of manure I'm breaking up with my hands here, getting them worked into the soil. And you don't want to go crazy hammering it down around the plant. You just want to get it nice and backfilled. Now there's a bit of a hole here. It's too much. You want to add a bit more in. And now there's lots of good soil underneath there, so you don't have to have it all the way up. You can if you want. Could add a little bit more here. I'm just breaking this up, mixing it with that top little bit. And I really believe that this is going to be one very, very happy tomato plant. Very much. Just getting your hands nice and dirty like this is a very good thing for you. Get all those microbes up in your hands and your soil, or from the soil into your hands, sorry. So that's that. This guy, it'll need to be staked up. This is a vining cherry tomato, indeterminate cherry tomato. So that means that it'll just fall over if it's not staked up. So what I'm planning to do is I'll probably just tie string from between right here and there, and just put it around the stem of the plant to hold it up, and just do that as it continues to grow up. And I think it'll be in good hands. So I'm excited to see it grow. I'm going to do a couple more right along here. I've got 48 cherry tomatoes, so I'm going to plant another one right here, and another there, and another there, and a whole bunch of other stuff too. So watch for updates. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, drop them down below. If you guys want to see Opie again, let me know. She's the sweetest and I just love her. Have a great day, guys. Have a wonderful time enjoying the spring weather.